Generations ago, Kong was a thriving kingdom. The people were prosperous, the land fertile. But greed led one man to disturb the ancient forest, and the spirits punished them with a curse. The once bountiful land became barren, and every full moon, the spirits demanded tribute in the form of the midnight drum. Those who disobeyed disappeared, never to return. In the heart of the ancient forest of West Africa lay the village of Nkong, a place where traditions ran deep and the night was ruled by unseen forces. Every full moon, the villagers gathered around a sacred fire to perform the midnight drum ritual, an event older than the village itself. The beat of the drum was believed to keep the forest spirits appeased. No one dared to defy the ritual, for they knew a terrible curse awaited those who did. Ola, a young and adventurous hunter, found these old customs laughable. To him, the stories of forest spirits were mere tales meant to control the villagers. On the night of a full moon, he made a reckless decision: he would enter the forbidden forest during the midnight drum ritual, determined to prove that the curse was just a myth. As the drums began to sound, Elder Ikin approached Ola with a warning. "Do not stray into the forest tonight," he cautioned, his eyes filled with foreboding. "The spirits are restless. They can sense a doubter's heart." Ola shrugged off the warning, but the elder's words lingered in his mind as he walked away. While the villagers gathered around the fire, the familiar rhythm of the drum echoed through the night air. Meanwhile, Ola, armed with his bow and a lantern, slipped away into the dark forest, ignoring the whispers carried by the wind. Deeper he ventured, the trees loomed like ancient guardians. Suddenly, the drum's rhythm changed. The steady beat faltered, becoming chaotic and wild. The forest seemed to awaken. Shadows darted between the trees, and strange whispers filled the air. A chill crept over Ola, but he pressed on, eager to find proof that there was nothing to fear. He stumbled upon a hidden clearing, one he had never seen before. At its center stood an ancient drum, carved from the wood of a long-forgotten tree. Despite its age, it pulsed with a strange energy, as if alive. Around it danced ghostly figures, their faces concealed beneath masks of bone and feathers. Ola hid behind a tree, his awe turning to dread as he watched the eerie dance. The figures moved in sync with the distant drumbeat, their movements hypnotic and otherworldly. A thick fog began to rise, cloaking the forest in a spectral veil. Suddenly, the drumbeat stopped. The dancers froze, their masked faces turning toward Ola's hiding place. They had sensed him. Panic surged through Ola as the figures glided toward him, their steps silent but unyielding. He turned to flee, but the forest had shifted. The path he knew was gone, replaced by a maze of twisted trees and vines. No matter how fast he ran, the figures remained close behind, their presence growing colder and more menacing with each step. Ola burst back into the village, gasping for breath. But something was terribly wrong. The villagers, once gathered around the fire, now stared at him with cold, lifeless eyes. Their skin had turned ashen, their smiles twisted and unnatural. "The curse, it has begun," a voice whispered behind him. Ola spun around to find Elder Ikin at the edge of the clearing, his eyes glowing with an eerie light. "You defied the drum, and now the spirits demand payment." Ola tried to speak, but his voice failed him. The elder raised a hand, and the ghostly figures from the forest materialized around the village, growing more solid with each passing moment. They advanced on Ola, their masks slipping away to reveal skeletal faces. Just as all seemed lost, the drumbeat resumed. It was louder, more urgent, as though calling the spirits to order. The figures paused, their movement slowing. Realizing that the drum held the key to stopping them, Ola sprinted toward the sacred drum in the village square. With trembling hands, he began to beat the drum, matching the rhythm he had heard in the forest. The spirits shrieked in fury, their forms dissolving into smoke. The villagers, trapped in their cursed state, right as the curse fought to maintain its hold. Ola continued drumming, even as his hands bled. The ground beneath him trembled, and the ancient drum began to crack under the force of his strikes. The spirits howled one last time before vanishing into the night, taking the curse with them. The villagers collapsed, their eyes returning to normal, but the memory of that night would forever haunt them. Exhausted, Ola looked around in disbelief. He had survived, but at what cost? The elder approached, a somber expression on his face. You have broken the curse, but the forest does not forget. The spirits will return one day, and when they do, the drum must be played. Never let its rhythm falter again. From that day forward, Ola became the village's guardian of the drum, ensuring that the spirits remained appeased. He learned that the old stories were more than just tales, they were warnings, passed down from those who knew the forest's power. Now, he carried that burden, knowing that a single misstep could summon the spirits back. Yet, every night, Ola swore he could hear whispers from the forest calling his name. And deep in the heart of the woods, the ancient drum still paused, waiting for the next time the rhythm might falter. The moral of the curse of the midnight drum is a reminder of the importance of respecting traditions and the wisdom of the past. It emphasizes that some ancient customs and beliefs, even if they seem mysterious or outdated, hold deeper truths and should not be dismissed lightly. Ola's disregard for the traditions nearly cost him and his village dearly, teaching that curiosity and skepticism are valuable, but must be balanced with respect for the unknown. It also highlights that bravery and responsibility are needed to correct one's mistakes and protect the community.